Well, hello, and welcome back to News of the World, the news for the latest goings-on in the little corner of the universe that we call home. Today, we'll be discussing the current situation in Afghanistan, China's population issue, murder hornets in British Columbia, and noticeable deaths. But first, the weather with Ash, and on today's docket is the town of San Remo in Italy. Take it away, Ash.
Today's weather comes from San Remo, Italy, where it's a gorgeous 21 degrees Celsius and mildly warm. Mild winds today, a humidity of 79%, making it feel a bit sticky, and a chance of precipitation at 2%. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, with a chance of rain. Back to you, Noodle.
Thank you. Now up first, Seamus with the Afghanistan issue currently, and with China's population issue.
Thank you, Noodle. For our top story of the night, we'll be looking at the developing situation in Afghanistan. Before anything, however, it must be known that this script was researched and written on the 24th of August, 2021. This situation is developing quickly, and new, vital events may have occurred. It is the recommendation of PANR that you supplement this report with other more recent reports to form a more complete understanding of the situation. With that said, we must begin with the President of Afghanistan, Ashraf Ghani. Last week we reported that President Ghani fled Afghanistan for an unknown location in Tajikistan. However, the case turned out to be President Ghani was refused access to the Afghani embassy in Tajikistan and made his way instead to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Here, the UAE has welcomed the president and his family on humanitarian grounds. President Ghani went on to explain he fled the country for fear of the destruction of Kabul. He was absolutely certain that countless of his countrymen should perish and be martyred if he remained in the city. His exodus was, according to him, to prevent bloodshed. However, President Ghani's claims are made uncertain, as the very embassy that denied his entry in Tajikistan has requested Interpol to arrest the president on Wednesday, the 18th of August. This on the grounds of the president having stolen public funds on his exodus from the country, reportedly having taken an amount in cash roughly equal to $169 million, a helicopter, and 4 other vehicles as he escaped the country, packing as much cash as he was able, going so far as to leave a great deal behind that would not fit in any of the vehicles. Meanwhile, in stark contrast to President Ghani's actions, Vice President Amrullah Saleh retreated to the PANR Valley to the northwest of the country, the only region in Afghanistan left unconquered by the Taliban. Quickly amassing followers, Vice President Saleh has become a vital figure in the Afghani resistance movement. Vice President Saleh claiming that, according to the Constitution of Afghanistan, he is the legitimate caretaker president of Afghanistan in President Ghani's absence. The PANR Valley is no stranger to a resistance movement, having already proven resistant to the Taliban even during their rule in the 1990s. They are continuing to be a thorn in their side. Now having retaken the districts of Desala and Kasan in Baghlan, along with Poli Hisar under the Afghan flag, the Taliban have retaliated with haste, however, retaking the districts and placing the region under siege, placing forces in Badakhshan, Takhar, and Andorab near the PANR Valley. This from Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid said in a tweet on Monday, effectively limiting movement and supplies in the area. To find an end to these hostilities, however, the Taliban and the PANR resistance are in talks to find a peaceful resolution, this involving the creation of an inclusive government for the country. However, the term inclusive must be defined, as it is very likely that the Taliban intend to use the idea of an inclusive government to garner support of the world stage. A world stage which still nervously watches a country in turmoil. A world whose nations still desperately seek to evacuate innocent people from a country that may prove hostile to them. One such nation, the United States of America, is in talks regarding the very notion of evacuation, as CIA Director William J. Burns met with the Taliban leader Abdul Ghani Baradar, a face-to-face meeting that is, at the time of writing this script, the highest-level meeting between the Taliban and the Biden administration. To no one's surprise, the CIA has declined to comment on the subject. though it is likely these talks included the removal of all US forces by the 31st of August. A, quote, hard red line would be crossed if the country failed to do so, according to one Taliban spokesperson. Though according to Ned Price, the spokesman for the State Department, the US and the Taliban were in talks regarding short-term goals and operations regarding the airport. It is likely that this is in reference to Burns' meeting with Baradar, though that is not confirmed, as Price's statement was made before any details regarding the meeting had emerged. Moving on. It is a well-known fact that China's population is the largest in the world, the government having gone so far as to limit the number of children couples may have to slow their own population growth. However, according to a new census report, their policy may have backfired, leaving them with an aging population and no one to care for them. On the 31st of May, 2021, following the results of the 7th National Population Census, the CCP announced a new family planning policy, now allowing couples to have 3 children. This, as the census showed that in 2021, only 12 million children will be born, the lowest birth rate since 1960, a figure so low that, with an aging population, the country would find itself unable to care for its elderly in the near future. According to Xinhua, an official Chinese news agency, the policy would be accompanied by, quote, supportive measures which would be conducive to improving our country's population structure, fulfilling the country's strategy of actively coping with an aging population and maintaining the endowment of human resources. Among these measures include the lowering of costs to education for families, provide tax and housing support, and guarantee the legal interests of working women. Details regarding these measures are, at the time of writing this script, unavailable. This was, of course, little comfort to the Chinese families, who struggle to raise any children amid the high costs of living in the country. Over to you, Noodle.
Thank you, Seamus. Now on to the murder hornet in British Columbia, and a noticeable death report. A nest of Asian giant hornets, or murder hornets, were found and destroyed just south of the USA border connecting to Canada. Murder hornets can grow up to the size of a small hummingbird and pose a very dangerous threat to bees and beekeepers, as well as the plants and crops that are used for pollination. Murder hornets are the largest hornet in the world and are apex predators, and advice is to stay away as their sting isn't immediately lethal, but it is very painful and can cause problems when you are overcome by them. The hornets are defensive insects, so you mustn't get too close to their hives. The hornet nest was found at the base of a dead alder tree, just south of Canada to USA border, and the man that approached them was stung 7 times, but thankfully was trained and knew what to do, and is alright, and managed to help the nest be destroyed. The murder hornets are a rare sight, and are not very common insects, and few have been seen over the past few years, but in alarmingly large numbers. In a new segment called The Death Report, we have some recognizable deaths that have occurred within the past week, or weeks, due to the fact that we didn't have this last week. Unfortunately to say, we have lost these wonderful people. Charlie Watts, the drummer for the Rolling Stones, died on the 24th of August. Philip Carr Valentine, an American conservative radio host and author and actor, died on the 21st of August. Sean Locke, a famous comedian, died on the 16th of August. Marilyn Eastman, the Night of the Living Dead actress, died on the 22nd of August. Una Stubbs, a famous actress for her roles in Fawlty Towers, and Mrs. Hudson in Sherlock, died on the 12th of August. We here at the team want to give our condolences to the family and the fans of these wonderful people. And we also want to give our condolences to you, the viewers, if you have lost anyone dear to you. We are so very sorry for your loss. And for the outro, take it away, Seamus.
I'm afraid that's all of the time we have for tonight. I should like to thank you all so much for tuning in. My name was Seamus Sykes, and I was joined by Noodle.
Good night.
And by Ash.
Good night, everyone.
Until next time, we wish you all the very best. And, if you're still out there, good luck.